I have found an article called Does IQ Really Measure Intelligence? And I want to take a piece of information from that and I want to put it in my project. So I have found a quote. I've highlighted that quote here. The quote says, "This is a really compelling study of an extraordinarily large number of people taking tests with a careful data analysis. It makes a case against the idea that IQ is localized in one part of the brain. We imagine that there is the test of intelligence, but you can measure it in many ways. One measure may make a person seem super intelligent, but if they picked another, they may seem average. There are multiple kinds of intelligence that can link to various tasks and different parts of the brain." So I like that quote. I want to use that. I'll probably end up paraphrasing it, but I like it and I want to create. Now I have a piece of information that's important enough that I need to have a source for that. Yesterday, we looked at a works cited page. We looked at parenthetical citations. So when we find a good piece of information, we need to create a source card for that. And we're going to do that in NoodleTools. So when I come back over here to the NoodleTools tab, I am on my sources tab across the top. So this is that middle tab. And I want to create a new citation. I hate the fact that NoodleTools uses the word citation for this. It's a source. It's not a citation. It's not a citation until they actually use it in the paper, but we'll live with that. So we're going to create a new citation. And when I click on citation, as I look at the screen, it gives me a bunch of options. Do I have a magazine, a book, something that I have print in hand? No, this one's on a website. So I'm going to click on website. Still more options. What kind of website is this? Is this a web page? Is it like an online book? Is it an online journal? Is it an online magazine or newspaper? And in fact, this one is just a web page. Most of what you're going to deal with is just going to be a web page. So when I click on web page, it now brings up a little questionnaire for me to fill out. And there are some important elements. We need to fill in the information that's there. With websites, though, all the information isn't always just right there. The first piece of information it's asking for is the URL. Well, I guarantee it has a URL. So I'm going to go back to my source. I'll get that URL. I will copy it with a Control-C. I will come back and I will paste that URL right in there. This next piece of information wants to know the date of publication. Well, I have to look for that. So let me see if there's any indication of a date of publication. Down here, I have a 2012 copyright. Above that, here we go. I have December 20th, 2012. I also know who reviewed this article. So those are going to be important pieces of information. A byline, something that tells you the important publication information of an article, is typically found right before the article, in between the title and the text, or it's found right at the end of the article, and I found mine at the end of the article. So I have December 20th, 2012. So I'm going to go select that date here, December 20, 2012. The most recent date of access. When did I look at it? Well, that's today. So I can just click on the today here, and it automatically puts today's date in those boxes. The next thing is the contributor. I need a first name, a middle name, a last name. If she has a suffix, her suffix. Let's see if it gives me, yeah, I'm going to put the MD in there. So when we looked at that, her name is Laura J. Martin, MD, no relation to me. Laura J. Martin, and she's a medical doctor, so that's an MD. I want to know what her role is. And it says here that it was reviewed by Laura J. Martin. That doesn't mean it was written by her. It means that somebody else wrote it and she kind of supervised it. The closest thing I have to that is probably editor. So I'm going to put editor in for her there. What's the web page or document or article title? We want the article title. And the article title is up here. I can simply copy and paste it. So that's a Control-C and a Control-V. I need the name of the website and I need the publisher of the website as long as they are different. So the name of my website is WebMD. When I look for this in the top left corner, I'm also looking to see if that kind of matches up with what's in the core spot in the URL, and it does. This is webmd.com. This is WebMD over here, so I know I'm dealing with WebMD. The next thing it needs, or the next thing it's asking me, is the publisher of the site. So again, I go back to my site. WebMD is probably self-published, but I don't know that for sure. So I'm going to scroll way down to the bottom of the page and see if it has any important information. And it does. It says 2005 to 2019 copyright, WebMD LLC. So it's claiming its own copyright. There's no parent corporation that is taking credit for WebMD. WebMD is its own entity. So I don't need to add anything new in as a publisher because the name of the website and the publisher are the same thing. Let me click in here. Okay, you'll notice anytime you click in one of these boxes, it gives you little hints. So when I come down here and click on publisher of the site, it says leave this field blank if the publisher's name is the same as the site name, and that's what we have. That's what I was just doing, but it actually gives you the little information right there when you click. I've got nothing else to put in. I can click on save, and I just need save. I don't need save and annotation. I spelled the author's name wrong, which is really embarrassing because it's my own last name. All right, so I need to edit this. It was simply a typo, but it happens. Okay, yesterday we looked at bibliography entries and we saw that they were all organized. That's what NoodleTools does for you. It asks you the questions, what are the pieces parts of this website? And then it compiles it for you into an appropriate MLA citation. I'm going to stop this video here so that I don't run out of time, and then I'm going to start a new video to show you how to actually create a note from that.